as well. She said 3-1 for T1. So she actually also gave a game over to KT, as here we will introduce our player, Zeus, on the All-LCK first team for 2023 Spring. That's not going to be the one player you see on this roster.
Nope.
With that.
It's the entire team, and yeah, some
on the All. Her prediction as well. She said 3-1 for T1. So she actually also gave a game over to KT, as here we will introduce our player, Zeus, on the All-LCK first team for 2023 Spring. That's not going to be the one player you see on this roster.
Nope.
With that.
It's the entire team, and yeah, some people might criticize Zeus and won best of 5 in the World's Finals last year, but beyond that, I feel like he's never really slipped up. He's never really underdone our expectations. This player has been extremely consistent. And his opponent on the other side of the Rift, an All-Pro second, in fact. And this is what's so exciting is the top 2 top laners. That sounds very weird coming out when you say it out loud, but our top 2 players in the top position are actually facing off against each other in a best of 5 tonight, and it's Keen, who's actually shown a wider champion pool in this role. So we'll see what he's got planned for this evening.
It's going to be really fun. I think that if there is going to be any top laner to challenge Zeus, it will be Keen. So you never know what'll happen. As now, let's introduce Owner, our first jungler here for the LCK team. Of course, he has really stepped it up, and I feel like the meta as well, it feels almost unfair, but it feels like it has shifted even more in the direction of Owner. So, like, even especially compared to Cuz, I think that Owner will have the meta advantage in this match.
He was the only player to not make All-Pro in 2022 Spring last year. He's on the team this time as Cuz, the jungle opponent for him, a player who has, as was mentioned by Chronicler, has really stepped it up. It's been his best year in a while, and in the middle of the season, he really just turned it on. So definitely an angle of attack here for KT Rolster. If they can get some early advantages, will be tough for him to play this one out, considering each individual lane seems like it is going to be very difficult to get advantages in, which makes Cuz's life more difficult, but maybe he could be a hero tonight.
And his uncle is here again today. I think this is a really important day to support Cuz, as he will be going up against Faker here. Of course, no introduction really needed, but this guy, it feels like he's even adapting and changing his play style 10 years later in his career, which is kind of insane to say, but he's getting even more aggressive. He's leading the team even harder, and it has been a pleasure to watch him play this season.
It's 10 years after his debut, you know, that he's in another playoffs here against the team he defeated in that very famous finals. And BDD, the only real true counterpart to Faker in terms of champion pool, games played, mastery of Azir. It's so fitting that these 2 legends and veterans will face off tonight here in the upper part of our bracket. BDD, in a lot of people's mind, definitely a top 3 player here in the LCK, despite the votes not going his way there in terms of second place. And
a lot of us even put him at second, so, you know, that's the way it goes. Some of the other mid laners here have some big names, but either way, here's Gumayusi, who did make it onto the first team. I feel like he had maybe the most competition when it did come to that role.
Yeah, I'd say this was the most controversial one of all, but even still, not a lot of controversy when you consider the duo kills here, where he and Keria dominate lane, which we will, you know, talk a lot about as we go into this series. Is aiming definitely on the other side of things here in this AD carry matchup. He has been more of the scaling type, but second place in duo kills here do go to KT Rolster. A pretty surprising stat when you consider how many champions aiming has played that are more on the sit back and scale side of things. His Zeri, his Ezreal, for example, but he is still winning out 2v2s.
I like this. It lists their 2 wins, but it also lists a prediction for their win here in 2023 as what's going on here.
Oh, you love to see it. That's right. This MVP.
Oh, man. Player of the split. This was pretty much unanimous. It's hard to argue with this. This guy is he's getting even better. I don't know how to say it even more, but he was already insane, but now he is reaching new heights.
I feel like he's improved a lot, but it's hard to say he's improved. I think he just showed that he had more things that we didn't know about. Like, he's like, oh, you guys only think I'm good at like 90% of things. Let me show you I'm good at 100% of all things. As Lehens We'll come down here. He also was able to get onto the LCK third team, or the all-LCK third team here, with very impressive finish to the season here. I think more than the early parts, his Blitzcrank coming back as Leona. A very aggressive player.